There's a trick elite athletes, top founders, and Navy SEALs use that has nothing to do with willpower. It's not motivation, it's not discipline. It's a loophole in your own brain chemistry, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's the problem. You already know what you should be doing. The gym, the project, the book, but your brain keeps choosing the phone instead. That's not a character flaw. That's dopamine doing exactly what it evolved to do: chase the fastest, easiest reward in the room. The good news? You can rig the game. Dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical like pop science says. It's the anticipation chemical. It fires before the reward, not during it. That's why the notification ping feels better than actually reading the message. Once you understand it's about anticipation, not satisfaction, you can start pointing it at things that actually build your life. Every time you get a huge, easy dopamine spike, scrolling, junk food, gambling-style apps, your baseline drops afterward. Normal life starts feeling dull by comparison. This is why binging content makes real work feel unbearable. The loophole isn't chasing bigger spikes. It's rebuilding a healthy baseline so smaller, earned rewards feel satisfying again. Willpower is a finite battery. It drains by 3 p.m. Loopholes don't drain, they redirect. Instead of fighting your brain's reward system, you feed it what it wants, in a way that also moves your life forward. That's the entire strategy in this video. 13 loopholes, 30 days, 0 extra willpower required. Loophole number 1, temptation bundling. This is the easiest one to start today, and it works almost immediately. You chain something you want to do with something you should do, but only allow the want if you're doing the should. Favorite podcast only during the commute walk. Trashy show only on the exercise bike. Your brain stops treating the task as a chore because it's now tangled up with the reward. Within days, you'll crave the workout because you crave the show. Tonight, write 2 lists. Left column, things you genuinely enjoy. Right column, things you avoid. Now draw a line connecting one from each, but with a rule. The want is locked behind the should. No gym, no true crime episode. No dishes, no music. Lock the reward behind the door. Loophole 2 is the exact mechanic that makes slot machines and social media so addictive. We're going to steal it back. Predictable rewards are boring to your brain. Unpredictable ones light it on fire. That's why you check your phone 90 times a day. You never know what's waiting. So build unpredictability into your goals. A jar of surprise rewards. A random chance of a bigger prize after any completed task. Same chemical hook, pointed at your growth instead of your scrolling. Write 15 small rewards on slips of paper. A coffee, 20 minutes of gaming, a walk outside. Mix in 2 or 3 bigger ones. Every time you finish a real task, pull one blind. You won't know if it's small or big. That uncertainty is the hook. Your brain starts looking forward to finishing things, not avoiding them. Loophole 3 explains why an unfinished Netflix episode haunts you more than a finished one ever could. Psychologists call it the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain fixates on incomplete tasks way harder than completed ones. That cliffhanger keeps you watching. That half-written email nags at you all day. You can weaponize this by deliberately stopping tasks mid-action so your brain drags you back to finish them, instead of avoiding them. Stop writing mid-sentence. Stop the workout 1 rep before you meant to. Leave the report on an unfinished bullet point. Every time, you're planting a hook in your own brain. The next day, you won't need motivation to start, you'll need to scratch an itch. That's a completely different kind of pull. Checkpoint 1. Bundle temptations, randomize your rewards, and leave tasks unfinished on purpose. 3 loopholes down, 10 to go. Next up is the reason short-form video is nearly impossible to put down, and how to point that same mechanism at your goals instead. Loophole 4 is about speed, how fast you get a hit of progress, not how big it is. Big goals feel far away, so your brain deprioritizes them. But tiny, fast wins release dopamine almost instantly. That's why checking a box feels so good. Break every goal into steps so small you could finish one in under 2 minutes. The finish line stops being one giant wall and becomes 100 tiny doors you're already walking through. Take your biggest goal right now. Break it into steps so small they feel almost stupid to write down. Open the document. Write 1 sentence. Check each one off physically on paper, not an app. The tactile click of a pen matters more than you'd think. Momentum builds from stupidly small wins, not heroic ones. Loophole 5 flips a psychological bias that normally works against you, loss aversion, so it starts working for you instead. You feel the pain of losing something twice as strongly as the pleasure of gaining it. That's why a workout streak feels more urgent on day 12 than day 1. You're not chasing a reward anymore, you're protecting one. Build streaks around your new habits and your brain switches from "I don't feel like it" to "I refuse to lose this." Put a physical calendar somewhere you can't avoid seeing. Bathroom mirror, fridge, desk, 1 mark per day for your chosen habit. Don't break the chain. When you feel the urge to skip a day, notice it's not laziness talking. It's the absence of a mark you haven't earned yet. Protect the streak, not the task. Loophole 6 uses a fear more powerful than failure itself. The fear of looking bad in front of other people. Private goals are easy to quietly abandon. Nobody's watching, so nobody notices. But announce a goal publicly, and suddenly your brain treats failure as a social threat. The same ancient wiring that once meant exile from the tribe. That threat is a massive, free dopamine lever, because avoiding it feels urgent, not optional. Text one person your 30-day goal right now before finishing this video. Ask them to check in on day 15. Better yet, put real money on it, an app or a friend holding cash you lose if you quit. The stakes don't need to be huge. They just need to be real enough that quitting quietly is no longer an option. Checkpoint 2. Micro wins for instant progress, streaks for loss aversion, public stakes for social pressure. 6 loopholes locked in. The next 3 are about your environment, your brain chemistry before big tasks, and your identity, the deepest layer of all. Loophole 7 doesn't touch your brain at all. It touches your environment, and that turns out to be just as powerful. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your friction. Every extra second between you and a bad habit lowers the odds you do it. Every second removed between you and a good habit raises the odds you do it. You're not fighting temptation with willpower. You're just making the good choice the closer, easier one. Tonight, do a 10-minute environment audit. Move your phone charger out of the bedroom. Put gym clothes next to your bed. Delete one distracting app and only re-download it on desktop, where it's annoying to use. You're not relying on discipline tomorrow morning. You already made the decision tonight. Loophole 8 is counterintuitive. Sometimes the edge comes from removing stimulation, not adding it. If your brain gets high-intensity dopamine hits from scrolling right before deep work, that work will feel unbearably slow by comparison, like eating a salad after candy. Do a short dopamine reset before your highest value task. No phone, no music, no snacks, just 15 minutes of boredom. It resensitizes your brain so the real task feels engaging again. Before your single most important task each day, sit for 15 minutes with zero stimulation. No phone, no scrolling, not even music. It will feel uncomfortable, that's the point. When you finally start the real task afterward, it will feel like relief, not a chore. Do this once daily for the full 30 days. Loophole 9 is the one that makes the others permanent instead of temporary. Habits built on "I should" fade fast. Habits built on "this is who I am" stick for years. Every time you complete a loophole-powered task, say one sentence out loud. That's what a disciplined person does. You're not just getting a dopamine hit from the task, you're linking it to your identity, which makes quitting feel like betrayal, not just failure. Loophole 10 uses the fact that dopamine peaks before a reward, not during it, to make ordinary days feel exciting. Remember, anticipation is the actual chemical spike, not the reward itself. That's why planning a trip often feels better than the trip. So stack small, specific things to look forward to throughout your week, tied to your goals. A planned call with a friend after your workout. A specific meal after a deep work block. You're manufacturing excitement on demand. Every Sunday, schedule one specific, looked-forward-to thing on each day of the week, always placed after a task tied to your goal, never before. Not vague, relax later. Specific, 7 p.m., that new restaurant, after finishing the report. The specificity is what makes your brain start generating anticipation dopamine days in advance. Loophole 11 fights the single biggest killer of long-term habits, boredom. Dopamine responds to novelty, not repetition. Doing the identical routine every day quietly numbs your brain to it, which is why week 3 is when most people quit. The fix isn't switching goals, it's rotating the method while keeping the goal fixed. New running route, new workout format. New notebook color, small novelty, same target. For your core habit, write down 5 small variations. Different time of day, different location, different method, different music, different partner. Rotate one variable every few days. You're not restarting the habit each time. You're keeping the exact same goal fresh enough that your brain never fully tunes it out. Checkpoint 3. Environment design removes friction. Dopamine resets sharpen focus before big tasks. Identity statements make it permanent. Anticipation stacking manufactures excitement. Novelty injection prevents burnout. 11 loopholes down, 2 left, and they're the ones that separate people who improve for a month from people who improve for life. Loophole 12 is uncomfortable on purpose. It's how you build tolerance for the gap between effort and payoff. Every loophole so far speeds up your reward. This one deliberately slows it down on a schedule to build a skill most people never train. Tolerating the gap. Constant instant gratification shrinks your capacity to wait for anything. Occasionally delaying a reward you could have immediately actually strengthens the exact muscle long-term goals require. Twice a week, when you earn a reward, don't take it immediately. Write it down and schedule it for 24 to 48 hours later. Notice the discomfort. That's the point. Over 30 days, this single habit measurably increases your tolerance for delayed gratification in every other area of life, including the big, slow goals. The final loophole borrows the most refined dopamine engineering on the planet: video game design. Games keep people playing for hundreds of hours using visible progress bars, levels, and clear next steps. Real life rarely shows you a progress bar, so your brain assumes nothing is happening. Build a visible leveling system for your goal: points, levels, ranks, and you give your brain the exact structure it's been trained by games to crave. Assign point values to your tasks: 10 points for a workout, 5 for reading, 20 for finishing a project milestone. Set level thresholds: 100 points is level 2, 250 is level 3. Track it on paper or a simple spreadsheet. It sounds silly. It works because your brain doesn't know the difference between real levels and a level you invented. 4 ways people wreck this. 1. Trying all 13 loopholes on day 1 and burning out by day 3. 2. Missing a single day and quitting entirely. One skipped day is data, not failure. 3. Never writing anything down. Untracked habits are invisible habits. 4. Ignoring sleep, which resets your entire dopamine baseline every night. Here's how it stacks across 30 days. Week 1. Temptation bundling, environment design, and dopamine resets. Remove friction, add pull, sharpen focus. Week 2. Micro wins, streaks, and anticipation stacking. Week 3. Variable rewards, public accountability, and novelty injection. Week 4. The Zygarnik hook, reward delay training, gamified levels, and the identity line after every win. Your brain was never broken. It was just optimized for the wrong target. Point the same system that hooks you on your phone at your actual life, and 30 days from now, you won't recognize the version of you that almost didn't start. Pick 2 loopholes. Start tonight. That's the unfair edge. If this helped, subscribe. We upload videos every day, so don't miss it.